Hey everybody, Paul Vojchehoske, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Hey, real quick, just wanted to let you know version 6 or edition 6 of the Real Estate Agent's Bookkeeping Spreadsheet is now available. It is substantially different than the other one that you guys been using for all these years. I just decided to capitulate to all the requests and I don't know. We'll see what you think of it. But anyways, I wanted to kind of just take a few minutes and show you all the changes and what you can expect from this. So let's go to the computer and check this thing out. Now, first of all, if you look at the bottom of the worksheet there, you're going to notice there are 7 tabs. Each one of those are intertwined with one another, at least most of them are. We're on the Start Here page, and there's about a half a dozen things you need to know. So when you get this worksheet, make sure that you read through that quickly to make sure that you get all that information that you need. Now, the second worksheet I want to talk about is the individual transactions sheet right here. This was one of the main requests that I had from you folks, and that is more of a checkbook register type entry. And that's what I've done here. It's very simple. If you look at the columns, you got the month that the transaction happened, the date, the description of the transaction, and then the category in which we're going to do for our accounting. And if you notice on the right-hand side of your sheet here, I have a list of the different categories, both income and expense. Please do not change any of this because this particular column is, all the other worksheets are dependent on this, or at least most of them. So if you start making changes there or renaming things, it's going to screw everything up. So please don't. If you notice in column G, when you're entering your transaction and you go to a blank cell there, you're going to get a drop down menu. And then you're going to be able to make the selection for the appropriate category, whether income or expense, and it all comes from that category on the right-hand side there. And then we have income, expense. That's where you're going to register whether it's income or an expense. And then obviously column J is for any notes that you want to have. Now, when you enter the data on this particular spreadsheet or worksheet, it is going to import that data to the annual summary worksheet and the profit and loss statement worksheet. So let's take a look at the annual summary. Now, before we get started on this, please do not make any changes whatsoever to this particular sheet. It has autofill for everything. There's auto formulas. You don't have to do anything. On the left-hand side, you have your income, your expenses. Point is you guys wanted some way to be able to have a quarterly view or a monthly view and then an overall view. So this is what I came up with. Now, the next sheet I want to talk about is the profit and loss. One other request that I had a lot was, hey, can you do something where I can easily print this, because Excel is kind of difficult to print every once in a while. So I can just print it, give it to my accountant, and that's it. I've done that. It's a profit loss. Don't make any changes on this sheet whatsoever. And you'll notice at the very top, I guess you can make one little change right here at the end of the year or the beginning of the new year. If you want to type in the new date or the new year, you can do that. It's in the black banner there. That's fine. But as far as the income and the expense categories and the yellow cells, please do not make any changes because it's auto-populated from the individual transactions worksheet. The other thing I didn't mention is, maybe I did, but I'm going to mention it again. Any cell that is yellow, do not change whatsoever, because that there's a formula built in there and it'll corrupt all the other calculations for the other worksheets. So what do you do at the end of the year if you want to reuse this? But you have a whole year's worth of transactions. So we don't make any changes whatsoever to the profit loss or the annual summary sheet. We're going to go just to the individual transactions, and watch what I can do here. You just basically highlight and then delete all of the individual transactions, and look what happens on the summary sheet. Everything has been cleared. If you look at the profit loss, everything has been cleared. So when we do additions and subtractions, we only make those calculations or those changes to the individual transaction sheet. All right. Now there's 2 other worksheets I want to talk about. We have the home office deduction. It looks very similar to what you had on the old versions. Again, the yellow cells here, please do not make any changes whatsoever. If you need to make changes or rename or add to the category list for your home office deductions here on the left-hand side, you can make the changes there and nothing will happen to the worksheet. Same with the charity. If you look at the charity worksheet, it's very similar to the previous versions. Again, Nothing in the yellow cell should be changed, but if you look at the category column there on the left-hand side, you can go ahead and make your changes. Like, let's say you need to keep track individually of the different charities that you give to. Maybe it's your church, maybe it's the Kidney Foundation, whatever it is, you can write it there. One other quick note is the home office deduction worksheet and the charity worksheet. It is not included in the estimated tax dashboard. That's the last one we're going to talk about here, right here. Click on that. So this is a summary, everything that you need for estimating your taxes. There are three components or three parts to this particular worksheet. On the left-hand side, you have your estimated tax calculator. It's going to provide the total gross income, the total gross expense, and then it's going to calculate your net loss or your net income. And if you have net income, that's what you pay taxes on. Then we're going to calculate or include your standard mileage deduction. And we're going to do it from this part right here. I've listed 3 or 4 columns there where you can track your monthly mileage. And when you put the data in there that you need, then that's going to auto correct over here on your estimated tax calculator. And that's all included in eventually how much your estimated taxes that's owed for your federal and your state. Now, one last thing, this middle column here, I've included for those that make estimated tax payments to the federal government and your state government. You can put your 4 payments for each right here. It's pretty self-explanatory. Again, these yellow cells here don't make any calculations, but when you make your payment and you put that $500 payment, as I'm exampling right here, it's going to auto calculate over here in the estimated tax calculator box. So in the end, my goal is on December 31st, you can look at your estimated taxes that's owed for federal and state and go, wow, you're going to be pretty close, even calculating your estimated payments here. Now, just real quick, if you look at the box right here, it is calculated for 28% for federal and 7% for state. And most people that I've talked to said that that's been pretty accurate for them. So I thought I'd leave those numbers. So in the end, this is the goal. This is what we're trying to do. Keep track of your income, your expenses for your tax accountant, and then give you a little tool there to help estimate what you're going to owe the federal and state governments. Now, how do you get this spreadsheet? Well, if you go down below in the comment section of this video, I'm going to leave instructions in the first comment, the pinned comment there, on how you can obtain this. Now, this spreadsheet is free, but in return, there's a little quid pro quo here. I'm asking you to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up, and we'll call it even. So let me know what you think of it. If you're going to use it, great. If you want the old version, let me know. I'll send it to you. Anything I can do, any questions, comments, leave down below. Thanks, everybody.